Let's talk your money a little bit this morning. All of us want to see our money grow, especially as you get into your retirement years. So happy to have Granger Hughes back on the show. He has Hughes Retirement Group. Nice to see you.
Good to be here.
So you're going to be able to give me an education right off the bat because I am still working.
Okay.
My brothers, obviously, here I am today. My brothers are retired, and so very often when we have conversations, they'll start talking in terms that make no sense to me because it's not my turn yet.
Sure.
You wanted to talk about your income and your tax structure. I'll let you kind of elaborate because I've got to learn from you.
Yeah, so I mean, here's the biggest thing. When you're getting ready to retire, I think sometimes you don't necessarily think about how much am I going to spend in retirement. I know that sounds very simplistic, but when you get to that retirement age and you figure out how much you're going to spend, then you've got to say, okay, what sources of income do I have? What's my Social Security going to look like? We've already heard a lot. I mean, and we know Social Security being underfunded, and 2032 is the date that's now moved up to where they're saying that's going to be underfunded, where 25 cents on the dollar could be a cut for you. So when we talk about creating income streams, do you have a pension? And if you have a pension, do you have a lump sum option? Because if you have a lump sum option, often you can take control of that asset, and then you can convert that to Roth
and grow it.
Absolutely. So, but when we talk about guaranteed streams of income, if you have Social Security, and maybe you're a high income earner, maybe you're worried about them cutting that benefit for you down the road. What are you doing to kind of fill that gap? Of maybe you've got 70,000 of income, but you want to spend 120. How are we filling that gap? And I think because of, if you look back in time when pensions were prevalent, and then we came into the 80s, and all of a sudden now we have this 401k. Well, what is a 401k, right? Nobody knew what it was.
Right.
Now all of a sudden, it's in
all
our,
anybody has anymore,
It's in the lexicon now, and people just, they throw money at it, but they don't really understand what's going to happen. So how do you take this pile of money now and create income?
Right.
Because you've had a paycheck your entire life, right?
Right.
And now you've got this pile of money that you're trying to pick away at. So how do we create those guaranteed income streams?
Okay, so let's take me, for example, because I might be a mirror image of a lot of people out there. So I have a 401k, and I plug my money into it. And so would it be something that as I near retirement, I would come to you and say, okay, Granger, it's about time for me to switch it over. And you might say, let's get you into some investments that will bring dividends to you to get you that income. Is that kind of it?
Possibly, yeah. So, I mean, there's different ways to create income. You can utilize things like dividend portfolios, structured notes, annuities, whether that's a fixed or variable. So there's a lot of different ways to do that. One of the big things that we focus on is when you're getting ready to retire, think about this money that you've put in. Why are we putting it in a 401k? To reduce our taxes today, right? To save some money, to grow it tax deferred. So it's a multifaceted tool.
Right.
But the problem is when we get to retirement, all of that distribution that we take out is going to be taxed.
Right.
So if we're worried about future tax increases, which is highly plausible, that would be an opportunity to start shifting that money maybe to some Roth conversions.
Okay, so like in my case, more information than y'all need, I have both. I kind of split the baby on mine.
Okay.
So I'll be okay on the Roth side. But maybe as I near retirement, you might say, look, Julie, you could put more over here into your Roth. Go ahead and start doing that now. Is that kind of it?
And a lot of that would depend on your income. You know, if you're a high income earner, you may say, hey, I'm going to just roll the dice. I don't want to pay 37% to get money into a Roth IRA. But if you're in a favorable bracket of a 22 or 24, if you look just at history, where we've been before in the 60s, where the highest tax rate was 87%, could we go back there again? We don't know. If we look at the debt, it would be a little unsettling. So
take us back in time. In the 60s, the tax structure was 60-something%.
So if you looked at, if you remember a president we had, Ronald Reagan, he did 2 movies a year because he made about $200,000 a year. And after that, essentially all his money was going to taxes. So the Congressional Budget Office projected, I think this was in 2015, that if things went unchanged, this is back when the debt was around $17 trillion, the taxes would have to double in the future.
Okay.
Well, we're paying almost $1 trillion in interest now just on the national debt. So if you think about the expenses that the U.S. government has, at some point, we're going to have to pay the piper.
So what you're saying is don't panic by a headline, but don't be fooled by a headline either. And the more control you have in your own pocket of the money you've earned, you're protected no matter what happens.
And the thing is, because Roth 401k, you can invest however you want, right? You can buy Apple stock in either one. for simplicity's sake there. But if we're talking about future taxes, would you rather pay taxes today if you believe taxes are on sale, or would you rather wait to whatever the government decides they are when you have to take distributions?
Before I let you run, you did talk about Social Security at the beginning of our conversation. You're suggesting, and you can't be a soothsayer either,
Right, yeah.
that it looks like as we go through time, the benefits may reduce a little bit or the retirement age may push. But in case anybody's panicking, you're not suggesting that it's going to go away entirely.
I'm not suggesting that. No, I don't think that will happen.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
I know you can't.
Right.
You can't quote him.
Yeah.
But I did want to give him a chance to make sure he could clarify if that
Right.
was the case.
Yeah.
Here's what you can do though. If you're 55 and older, you can call him because what they want to do is help you as you are either in retirement or about to be in retirement because your money should work for you. And this is what he does. You don't have to know it. He knows it. HughesRetirementGroup.com, 664-4203. I think I feel a little bit better.
Well, I hope you do.
I hope I do too.